Hi, my name is Cecilia Heikkilä and I am a Swedish illustrator and author, and I just released this book that is called The Slightly Spooky Tale of Fox and Mole. And I think now when fall is approaching and it's getting a little bit dark outside that it's perfect to curl up and listen to a book. So I thought I would read this book to you. Okay, are you ready? The Slightly Spooky Tale of Fox and Mole. By me, Cecilia Heikkilä. This is a story about a fox and a mole. In autumn, when darkness comes early, they read aloud together in the evenings. The middle of the story might be a bit spooky. Now we begin. Chapter 1. Summer. Alone on a headland, tucked between the moorland and the sea, stood two houses built so close together they shared a wall. One was fox and the other was moles. In summer, people came from the city to play in boats and fly kites. Evenings were light and long and lively. Mole joined in all the fun. Fox was too busy, baking cookies every night and simmering jam and fruity tea every day, so that there was plenty to offer visitors. Then, so soon, the warm days were over. Everyone went home, leaving one kite snagged in the bushes, fluttering like a forgotten ghost. Fox and Mole were on their own together once more. Fox's pantry was stacked high with cookies and jam. And before long, it seemed, a morning dawn when a chilly wind blew over the moorland. Fox shivered, grey clouds rolled in, spider webs glittered on the heather. Autumn had arrived. I will come over to your house tonight, said Mole, at 6 o'clock. Chapter 2. Darkness. That evening, as the clock struck 6, Mole strolled into Fox's house and sat in Fox's best chair. Fox opened the first page of a book. Mole settled cozily, spilling cookie crumbs over the chair and the rug and the table. This was how it always was in autumn. The Legend of the Scuffling Monster, read Fox. Once upon a time. Oh, how scary, interrupted Mole. I barely even started, said Fox. Please use a napkin. Fox coughed and continued. Once upon a time, there was a house all alone on a headland, tucked between the moorland and the sea. In the house lived a raccoon. The raccoon had wanted to escape from noise and bustle and had moved to the house on the headland to spend some time alone. Do you have more cookies? Mole asked. Look in the jar, replied Fox. Listen, there's more story. Autumn came, and the weather turned cold and gloomy. Every night the raccoon sat and stared out the window into the darkness. One evening, something outside seemed to be staring back. It whispered and scratched. Eek! Cried Mole. Oh dear, said Fox, this part is too scary. I will skip forward a few pages. At the chime of midnight, the raccoon transformed. It scuffled across the moor, eyes wild, sharp claws dragging, and in the swirling fog it came upon a traveller. What happened? Squeaked Mole. Pause shivering, Fox shut the book with a thud. Oh, let's think about something else. Is there a cookie left for me? Mole glanced around the table. Ah, sorry, I've already licked this one. But Mole didn't sound very sorry. They sat in silence for a while. Do you think scuffling monsters really exist? Asked Mole. Yes, said Fox, because stories about scuffling monsters really exist. Shall I come to your house tomorrow? Suggested Fox. Maybe you could read to me next time. No need, I always come here, said Mole. Besides, I don't have any storybooks. So that was that. Mole visited Fox's house every night. Every night Mole interrupted, chewed and scattered crumbs while Fox read. until the day when Fox opened the pantry and discovered there were no cookies and there was no jam. There were only cabbages and an old jar of pickled herring. Fox's whiskers twitched. The day of Fox's birthday was colder than usual. Wind wailed around the houses. Out walking, Fox could hear something moving on the moor, whispering, rustling, scrabbling, and getting closer. "Hello?" Fox called, but there was no answer. So Fox headed home, trying to think firm thoughts. Come on, you have a birthday party to prepare. A birthday with presents and a song from Mole will make everything feel right. At 6 o'clock, Mole ambled into the house, sat in Fox's best chair, then paused. "Something's different." "Yes," Fox replied. "Today is my birth—" "Ah, I know," Mole interrupted. "You have forgotten the cookies." Crash! Fox's teacups shattered across the floor. No one said anything for a long while. "I have run out of cookies," Fox said finally. "And jam." "Oh," said Mole. "Well, a piece of pickled herring would be nice." "I am also out of herring," said Fox. "I am out of everything." After Mole left, Fox went into the kitchen, screwed the lid of the jar of pickled herring, and swallowed everything in it. Fish, peppercorns, brine, all of it. Then Fox patted the oily drips with a napkin and ate the napkin too. Fox's mind swirled furiously. Rude, thoughtless, greedy Mole. Overcome with loneliness, Fox's paw curled into a tight fist. Something thorny found its way to Fox's heart. Fox sat staring out the window. Hours passed. When the clock struck midnight, Fox growled, then, dragging claws along the kitchen counter, snuck out into the night, fur bristling, eyes glowing. Fox walked, and walked, and walked. Perhaps because a shadow had entered Fox's mind, or because the full moon hung heavy over the moorland, or because there are mysteries we cannot grasp, Fox began to transform. Chapter 3. The Scuffling Monster. Eating a late snack at home, Mole was trying to remember something. Mole shooed and shooed, squinting out the window. "Oh my goodness," Mole exclaimed. "That's the full moon already. I missed Fox's birthday. How could I have forgotten?" Then came a noise, disturbing Mole's thoughts. A sharp noise outside. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Mole listened. The noise came again. Slowly, Mole stood up, stepped into the hallway, and opened the door. Mole blinked and sniffed the night air. The smell was like Fox, but also sour, rancid. "Is that you, Fox?" Mole asked nervously. "Hi, hello, it's so messy in here. Shall we go next door to your house instead?" There was a growl so loud that Mole swung the door wide and let Fox in. Mole trotted ahead, hoping to quickly tidy up the worst of the mess. Fox scuffled after, giving no thought to messiness. With terrible manners, Fox tore open Mole's pantry door and ate everything inside. Cookies, sardines, the leftovers from Mole's lunch. Then Fox wiped up drips and crumbs with a rug and ate that too. Finding no more food, Fox stared at Mole, stared up and down, licked teeth and lips, and said, "More." Chapter 4. Fox and Mole. "Wait!" Mole shouted. "I know what's missing. Once upon a time, there was a fox and a mole who lived on a headland. A rude, greedy mole who never offered anything to anyone," growled Fox. "All right, okay," Mole agreed quickly. "Once upon a time, there was a fox who could just have said something about feeling angry, and a sloppy, greedy, forgetful mole who lived on a headland. Now put me down and I'll continue the story. Something inside Fox began to loosen and calm. Mole struck a match and lit a candle. Then Mole continued the story. It was a long and detailed story. It was a bit spooky in the middle, but overall quite good. Fox listened with one ear and, feeling satisfied and warm, started to snooze and dream of summer. In the dream, Fox flew a kite, played in boats and swam. On waking, Fox asked, "But what happened next? Did the fox eat the mole in the end?" "Certainly not," said Mole. "At the end, the mole made the fox a birthday present." Fox's ears pointed happily upwards. Fox was also humming a little. "Did the mole sing?" Mole thought for a bit. "Yes, there was a song and a cookie." "Oh, good. Then I'll come here tomorrow," Fox said, eyes closed cozily, at 6 o'clock. The end. Thank you so much for listening to my story. I hope you enjoyed it.